Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. The Tony and Grammy Award-winning Beautiful, the Carole King musical, is getting ready to kick off its national tour, which will begin September 15th in Providence, Rhode Island. And we dropped by the rehearsal studio to meet the company, led by Abby Mueller, who plays Carole King. I am so excited for you. I mean, how excited are you to be taking Beautiful out around the country?
I am over the moon. I'm thrilled. I feel so lucky to be in this position, and I can't wait. I've always wanted to tour, and so I'm super jazzed. Yeah, I'm so excited.
Wait, it's like your first time going across the country?
Yes, I know. Am I lucky or what to have this be the show? I'm just busting. Yeah.
What advice have people given, like how you pack for the road? I mean, you leave tomorrow for Providence. What have you packed already?
Not enough. I'm a little behind. I'm going to be honest. But there's today. There's still today. You know, I've gotten some tips, and I'm going to have to figure it out on my own, I think. You know, I've been trying to gather a lot of all the information I can, and then we're just going to see how it goes and go from there. So, yeah.
I mean, you'll be out for a year. It's like 90 degrees here in New York. Eventually, during the time, it's going to be winter. I mean, do you pack boots now? Do you pack a coat, or what do you do?
Well, you know, the good news is that we're kind of following the seasons, good and bad. Like, we're not in Florida in winter, but that's okay. We're in Buffalo, but and Chicago. But you know, that don't scare me. So at least we'll be kind of like, it'll go in order. You know, you can bring the clothes you're gonna be wearing at that time, so it should be okay.
What a great role. I mean, talk about DNA. I mean, your sister created this on Broadway, and now you get to take her across the country. Watching your sister play her, I mean, what did you learn from that whole experience? I mean, did you ever think you'd be standing here now saying, I'm playing this on the road?
No, I sure didn't. It never even crossed my mind. That's sort of why this is all the more surreal and awesome, and I feel so fortunate. Jessie was, you know, she created it.
Yeah.
It was, I remember being completely bowled over. I saw it. I was actually working next door to the Curran in San Francisco. I was at ACT the same time as the out-of-town tryout, so I got to see it there, and then I got to see it, you know, when it came to New York, which was really cool to see the progression. And but even the first time, the final dress, I remember being just completely blown away by her and being like, well, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a trip that this worked out the way it has, you know. I was very hesitant to even audition, to be honest. I thought, well, no way, but I'm so glad I did now, and I'm so grateful the team saw something in me, and that this worked out despite my running away from it, sort of, because we've just been having the best time. It's been such a gift, and I feel so fortunate and blessed to be in this position right now. Yeah, it's wild. It's really wild.
I'm over the moon. This is just, you know, a dream come true for me. I'm really having the best time in the world.
What was your callback like?
Well, it was actually quite a long time ago. It was in October, I believe. So yeah, I flew back down from Toronto, and the whole team was there. A lot of people in the room. So I did all the material and just kind of chatted about the role, and you know, shook the hands. And then a couple days later, I got the call. You got the role. So.
What did you sing? Your callback?
I sang "Take Good Care of My Baby" and "Pleasant Valley Sunday," 2 songs from the show. Yeah.
So this is your first time touring across America, right?
It is, yes. So I'm very excited to see a lot of places I haven't been, obviously as a Canadian, but yeah, I can't wait to see the whole country.
So I know some of the company has been on tours before. Some of them say, I know how to pack for a tour. I don't. I mean, I know you leave tomorrow for Providence. Have you packed yet?
I have, yeah. Well, I've been joking with the cast that I've been on tour for a few weeks now because New York was my first stop. Yeah, so I've toured in Europe before as well, so I have a bit of an edge, I guess, on how to pack for tour and what you need and the winter clothes and all that sort of thing. Extension cords are key. So yeah, I'm pretty much good to go, just repacking now.
Because you're going to be out for a year, right?
Yeah, it's a long time. So no breaks, no chances to come home and unpack, repack, things like that. So you find yourself packing snow pants and winter jackets in the summer, but it's fun.
Talk about the role you're going to play.
Jerry Goffin, I mean, what a role, especially in musical theater. Roles like this don't come along that often. You know, a lot of times it's kind of, you know, classic charming guy or whatever, but and Jerry does kind of start off like that, but there's a lot more to Jerry than meets the eye at first, and it's really fun to kind of explore what's going on in this guy's head as he makes some bad decisions and is really trying his best to sort things out. It doesn't always work out for him in the way that he'd planned. And then dealing with the fallout and struggling a lot within himself. So it's been really, really fun to explore that and that mindset and something that is kind of a departure from what I'm usually asked to do. So it's been a challenge and a pleasure.
And working with this cast and working with Abby.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, everyone in the cast has just got something really, really special. And Abby is incredible, such a great scene partner, and we get along quite well too, which is, quite a godsend. But like I said, the whole cast is great. It's great to just be on the sidelines and watching a number that you're not in and just have a great stupid grin on your face because it's so exciting to watch. So I'm really excited for the whole country to see what I get to see.
This show is such a big hit and everybody loves Carole King's music. Favorite Carole King song?
Ooh, favorite Carole King song? It's a tough one. There's so many. I mean, like Abby said earlier, it's like trying to pick your favorite child. But I don't know. I think Natural Woman really does it for me. It's just such a great song. It's, songs like that come around kind of once in a generation, I think, and that one's really quite something.
You leave for Providence tomorrow?
Yeah, we drive away tomorrow. It's all starting.
Yep. So how excited are you to be playing these roles? First of all, talk about who you play.
I play Cynthia Weil.
And I play Barry Mann.
And I'm super excited.
Yeah, really excited. I mean, it's like we're playing icons as part of this legendary music community. It's thrilling.
It's all in the script, but did you research the two of them? I mean, I met them a lot during the original press events for the Broadway show. They are so fun to be around. Have they been in the rehearsal studio at all for you two?
Not yet. I actually can't wait to meet them. I've watched clips, I've read things, but I think meeting them in person will be delightful, and I can't wait to use that a little bit once we do meet them.
Sure.
Yeah, we've heard some incredible stories from Doug McGrath, our book writer, who sat down with them for weeks and interviewed them, and so we got a great taste of their personalities through him, but I also can't wait to meet them. It's going to be a trip.
And this incredible music that they wrote.
It's so great. And you just don't realize how many songs you know. And then they start and you go, oh, along with the audience. The big sigh of, oh, that song.
Yeah, Doug calls it the mooing, when the whole audience goes, oh. It's so cool. It evokes this nostalgia that you can't really find in a lot of other musicals. It's really special. It makes me feel like I'm part of a legacy. You know what I mean? It's cool.
Callbacks. Do you remember what you sang at your callback and when you found out you got this job?
I actually sang from the show only, but we actually had our final thing together because we were put on tape together. And we
That's
found
right.
out, actually, Cynthia Weil tweeted about us, and then it had to be taken back.
Yeah, we were like, oh. Yeah.
So we kind of knew each other got it, but we had literally just gotten it.
Yeah.
So it was exciting, but sort of course, on the hush-hush till they actually did the release, but it was very exciting.
Yeah,
I ran into this one at the theater one day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you up to? And he's like, doing a concert or two.
Yeah, just nothing. Yeah, it was almost a year ago that we had these jobs, and we had to sort of keep our mouths
Top secret.
closed about it. Yeah.
I don't know how any of you do that. I could never do that. I feel like I'd write it out or something, like I didn't say anything, like an old I Love Lucy episode. I never told anybody, but I wrote it out.
Right. I called my mom, and
Right.
secret safe with her, so.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, and she told all her friends. I was like, Mom!
Looking forward to going on the road?
Yes.
You've both been on the road before, right?
Yes, I'm actually really excited to go on the road again. I toured, it was 5 years ago, so it's been a while. But I'm looking forward to it. We call it the big adventure.
Yeah, same for me. Mine was also like 5 years ago, and I don't know, it's always fun to get another try going out on the road. It's living out of a suitcase is an art in and itself, and a show like this that's going to, touch audiences all over the country I can't think of a better reason to go out and do a show.
We head up to Providence tomorrow, and we start teching up there, putting everything together, costumes, lights, the set, hair, and we do that for about a week and a half, and then... No.
Okay. I haven't
Have you
packed
packed?
yet either, no.
No.
You do it all tonight.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
tomorrow morning before we leave. No, just kidding.
Has someone told you how to pack for the road? I mean, is it like,
Yes.
do you take everything? What do you do?
Well,
Suzanne toured.
I've toured before, but I'm doing everything different. I'm putting everything in my suitcase and then throwing out about a third of what I'm bringing. I'm putting everything in like little e-bag, little cubicles, and driving my car and taking one suitcase. But yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's a lot to think about, but it's all worth it because we get to go around the country and tell this story.
Have you not toured before?
No, sir. This is my first tour. Yeah, I'm not even typically working in musical theater. I did $1 Million Quartet here in town, but I've never gone on tour with a musical. So this is all new to me. But
You're
the
gonna have
good
so much
news is, my wife and I live in the smallest apartment in the world in Greenwich Village. So I don't have a lot to pack anyways. So everything already fits. So that's not a problem for me.
You going on the road together?
No. She travels with work as well, so she'll get to come to different cities. But yeah, it'll be a long year and also a short year.
It's going to be wonderful. Playing these great roles. I mean, you're playing Mama.
I'm playing Mama. I'm playing Jeannie, Carol's mom, and she is tough, and she is completely devoted to Carol. She sees the door slammed in Carol's face time after time with this very male-dominated music business, and she's an aspiring playwright, so she's witnessed that before. She's felt the pain of being rejected time after time, and so she's very protective of Carol. And at the same time, she's the one who says, "Go follow your dream. You are talented. I believe in you. Go grab this dream." And she is her biggest supporter. Yeah.
And you're playing Don Kirshner. I mean, talk about, an idol.
Donnie Kirshner in this show has the ability to be the lift. If it's all one plane, he's the mechanism that gives the whole plane the lift through each competition, through the songwriters, through the levels in their careers. And we know what Donnie Kirshner did thinking outside the box with the record industry. So it's kind of an amazing opportunity to play this role because it's just constantly powering through the scenes. Some jokes here, some pressure for the kids there, but it's all about the music, and that's what I'm loving.
Well, here we are back in the rehearsal studio for Beautiful.
Yeah, back here we go. Here we go again. This is the third time around. We just finished rehearsals and we're heading up to Providence, and it's thrilling to get to see another company of actors embody these parts with such feeling and such heart and humor, and to just get to reapproach the material a third time and get to see how well it can work with different casts.
Well, let's talk about your cast. What a great cast you've assembled.
Oh, we got so lucky. We have an incredible casting director, Stephen Copel, who put this group together. And this is an interesting show because, of course, it starts at the top with Carole King and with Abby Mueller playing Carol, who's just extraordinary, and she's just going to surprise everyone around the country. But this is a kind of show where there's really no room for hiding in the ensemble. The ensemble all plays Shirelles, Drifters, the Righteous Brothers, who are stars in their own right and who have to hold the stage and deliver these iconic numbers. So we have a whole company of star performers that are really going to surprise and delight the audiences around the country.
I remember talking to you in the rehearsal room, before you guys went on the road. No one knew the journey this musical was going to take, and I guess no one ever does, but I mean, audiences love this show. Why do you think this touches people so?
Well, I think two reasons. I think, first of all, it's a collection of music that is so iconic and so in the DNA of not only baby boomers, but people of all ages. But I think that, secondly, that people who don't have this music necessarily in their childhood come and see a story that's very inspirational about this girl who starts out at 16 trying to make it in the music business, and through a very difficult relationship with a man, comes around the other side and is able to take that pain and hurt and channel it into her music, and so there's an uplifting story there about being able to move on and to start over and to be true to this spirit of what got you involved in something in the first place.
What was the easiest number for you to stage, and what was the most difficult or challenging?
God, that's a really good question. Everything is challenging, I'd say, but I think possibly the one that came the easiest for me was Up on the Roof, I'd say. It has such an easy feel to it that I think that one kind of came to me pretty quickly. The most difficult piece, I would say, would be on Broadway, which I'm incredibly proud of. One of the reasons that was tricky for me is because I had seen Smokey Joe's Cafe 6 times, and Joey McNeely had done such a great job with On Broadway, and so I was very nervous that I was going to be doing a second version of this iconic song in another Broadway show, and so that one I think was my biggest challenge. Also, the locomotion was fun because there is no locomotion. No, there is no definitive locomotion, so being able to kind of come up with my own version of what that dance craze is or was challenging, but also really fun.
And then there's this incredible cast going out on the tour.
God, they're incredible, and they're so spirited, and they're just young and vibrant and energetic, and they can't wait to get out there and share the story with the country. And this cast exemplifies kind of what's the American musical theater spirit. They're warm, they're gracious, they are super talented. The ensemble, particularly of this show, have to deliver these iconic songs that everyone knows and everyone loves and everyone has heard over time. They have to deliver them in such a commanding, star-driven way that they have a lot on their plate, and they handle it with aplomb. This company is incredible. I can't wait for everybody to see them.
Yeah. Everybody loves Carole King's music. Everybody knows where they were when they heard a specific song. Without asking you what your favorite song is, the one that's meant the most to you, or maybe the first one you heard that changed everything for you?
Wow, that's a great question. The first song that changed everything for me, I think the one that always moves me kind of to tears is Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow. There's something about, I could listen to it over and over and over again, and it's also to speak to it choreographically too. It's very rare that you get a chance to choreograph a ballad, an adagio in a Broadway show, especially for a pop song like that. And so that allowed me a wonderful opportunity, and something that I always feel really drawn to that song, really attached to that song. It's a song that moves me always, and I feel like moves our audiences always.
This is so exciting. How excited are you, beautiful, going on the road?
I'm really excited. I'll tell you why I'm excited, because not only is it, I think, a great nostalgic experience for people who know and love Carole's music, but even more, it's an exciting experience for young people to discover the music for the first time and to discover her story, which is so inspiring.
You and I spoke so much during the early process of the Broadway production. No one knew. I mean, this is such a huge hit. This has touched so many people. When you were working on this, did you have any idea the journey the show would take?
That's such a good question. I didn't. Everyone was always hopeful. I mean, we knew how much Carole meant to people as a singer and more privately as a writer. And by privately, I mean people didn't know how many of the songs they loved that she wrote. We were always hopeful, but we never imagined it would catch fire like this in such a big way. I mean, we just didn't know.
Why do you think it is? I mean, you watch people in the audience react. Everybody knows where they were when they heard a Carole King song, don't they?
They do. Well, particularly, people are particularly passionate about Tapestry, obviously, because it's such a meaningful album, and people have an emotional connection to it. That's one reason. But what's been very interesting to us on the show is that people come and they expect they're going to just hear Tapestry. And they really don't hear Tapestry until Act 2. What they find out is that Carole had this amazing career as a songwriter, not a singer, as a songwriter, writing for the best acts of the day, the Drifters and the Shirelles and Aretha Franklin and the Monkees, Bobby V, Bobby Dare. All these people sang Carole's songs. And that's very exciting for the audience to learn. But they also love the show because even if you don't know Carole, the journey of the show, it's about a teenage girl, 16 years old, who breaks in to the big business of the music world and conquers it. So a lot of times kids come and see the show and they love it because they don't even know Carole King, and they come and they see it and then they come out fans of Carole's and so excited by what they saw her go through.